You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by demetrius-reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you could definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say, do you know where momentum lives? Your mind is where momentum lives. And with your mind, you can control and direct that powerful force of momentum. If things seem to be going from bad to worse, you're allowing momentum to flow against you. The instant you change that perception in your mind, you've already turned the momentum around in your favor. Momentum gets its power from your perception of the past and how that past relates to right now. The way to positively direct your momentum is by seeing what is positive about the things that have already happened. You cannot change the past, yet, anytime you wish, you can change what you take from it. Simply by seeing the past as having moved you forward in some way, you've suddenly put the enormous power of momentum on your side. So change your thinking about the past and you'll improve the reality of where you are. The more thankful you are for what has come before, the more happy you'll be with what is yet to come. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL. That's Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even a thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. The ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's another electrifying episode of Vigilantes Radio. Today we have the immense pleasure of hosting a band that's making waves in the rock music scene. With their powerful lyrics, unforgettable melodies, and the dynamic performances, they've captured the hearts of many. So please join me in welcoming the incredibly talented members of Petty Human Emotions. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you? My name is James.
Welcome, James. Glad to have you here with us tonight.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. So, man, James, you are the front man for Petty Human Emotions. Is that correct?
That is correct. And unfortunately, it's just me you got here, but I hope that's all right.
Oh, yeah, that is quite fine, man. That is quite fine. You're the main man. So for those who may not know you, can you share a bit about yourself and how the band came together?
Yeah, for sure. So I am originally from small town in upstate New York called Lake Placid. And I guess fun fact, that's where Lana Del Rey is from as well. Yeah. And I moved out to Los Angeles when I was 18, and it took a handful of years for me to get my act together, but eventually I did, and I found my drummer and guitarist for the band through a Facebook group, actually, a local Find Musicians in LA type of Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at currently.
All right. So growing up in a small town like Lake Placid, what are some of like the key experiences that really shaped your perspective and influence in pursuing a career in music?
I don't know. I guess I kind of was attracted to music just from a young age, mostly because I have an older brother who was always interested in music, kind of like alternative punk music and heavier music, the kind of stuff that was popular in the early and mid 2000s, like I don't know, My Chemical Romance at first, and then Green Day and Blink-182 and stuff. But he got into heavier stuff later, and I kind of veered off into other punk, and eventually I kind of mellowed out, got into indie stuff, like Elliott Smith is my favorite artist now, and that's maybe more than you asked for, but that's kind of the history.
No, man, that is good. That's good. So from small town to big city, I remember the first time I went to LA, man, there was just so much magic in the city that I just, got wrapped up, like, hey, I could be anybody here. But it didn't last long, and I eventually went back home. But for you stayed, man. That's such a huge move at 18. So how did that go? How did the decision to leave a small town city go?
I would say it ended up going pretty well. I do love it out here in LA. But yeah, just funny enough, it took a while for me to really get around to having a band together. I started by just going to college out here, just a community college. But this is where I wanted to be for the opportunity, as far as music goes, because there's not much going on in a small town where, like, you have to drive an hour away to get to Target.
Yeah.
But yeah, out here in LA, I would say it's going great. I had never been here before I moved out, and I'd never been to the state of California even before I moved out, so it was really kind of like putting all the eggs in this basket, and just luckily it worked out.
Yeah. Did anyone try to talk you out of it?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think my parents and friends and everybody were supportive, but I think naturally they were maybe a little confused by why I would want to move somewhere across the country without having any experience in the area or knowing anybody in the area. But, I made it clear that this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to try and pursue music. And everybody, I would say, more or less was supportive of that.
Yeah. Are you the same way when it comes to like song ideas or putting out music? You headstrong about it. This is like what I want to do, so this is it.
I definitely can be. Because funny enough with the band, I originally had a project called Caesar's Ghost that was just my project that was always meant to be a band, but I never found band members, so it was more of a solo project.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for years from when I was younger, like still in my teen years. And I decided that I wanted to do something different and like a different style, and that's where Petty Human Emotions came in. So originally this was kind of supposed to be me veering off and doing something that was meant to be more of a solo project, and ironically it became the real band project, where I actually got a band together and actually got a lot more serious about the music. And I'm sorry, did I veer off of what your question was? I got a little lost in my story.
Oh, you're good, man. We love stories here. I have another good question for you. So, I love the name Petty Human Emotions. But in your opinion, man, what is the pettiest emotion that humans can have?
Oh man, probably jealousy. I mean, that's an easy answer. But you know, there's nothing quite like that. It's an irrational emotion for sure, and it's a very human thing. I feel like you know, you'll see animals maybe get like territorial or something, but ultimately, like I've got a few cats, and I see them get territorial, but I don't see them necessarily get jealous of each other. So it's like a very human and a very petty emotion.
Yeah, cats are the pettiest of the animals. I had two boys at one time, man. Never again. Never again, my friend.
Yeah, I've definitely got two that don't get along quite with each other. And
right.
Yep.
All right, man. So, the single Sadness is pretty dope. I saw the music video. It's pretty dope as well. This song has become a fan favorite at your shows. What inspired you to write this song?
This song, and thank you for saying that, by the way. Thank you for watching the video.
Sure.
The song was inspired by a falling out that I had with an old friend who I at one point had unrequited feelings for. And it's some time had passed, and any hard feelings were not really lingering at a certain point. And this song was kind of about missing the friendship and the good parts of that relationship, where that bridge had now been burned, and just wanting that back. And in that way, it's kind of a nostalgic song, just about looking back and wishing for what you used to have.
Yeah. Like I said, I had a chance to dive into the video, and it just made me feel like there's a point in my life where I had this bridge to burn, you know, and the whole time I'm like, you know what, let's just bygones be bygones, forget everything that was said, everything that was done, let's just forget it, you know, and just get back to what it used to be. But sadly, that's not how life works. Have this friend heard the song that you know of?
Yeah, actually, I guess that's an update to report. This friend and I are we're on good terms these days, which is great. At the time I wrote the song, it was, of course, it was wishful thinking. But yeah, at this point in time, things have come around, and they have heard the song, and
Nice.
they like the song, so that's great.
Nice. How did the song evolve from its original version to the polished track that we hear today?
Yeah, so originally this song is the oldest song, I believe, that was written for this album, and it was actually written before the debut album, but I luckily did not finish it in time, and I didn't think it fit the vibe of the first album, which led to the track changing, in my opinion, much for the better, because the production on the second album is much better, in my opinion. and the performances. And we actually had the whole band doing their parts. So Austin, our guitarist, added in a little guitar part in the bridge that I really love, and Bruce, our drummer, put a much more, I would say, a much more professional sounding drum beat on there, because I originally on the demo I'd played the drums, and I'm not a drummer. We'll just say that. But yeah, the verse melody grew. Originally, it was just the same. It was the same melody 4 times in a row in the verse, and I thought that was a little boring, and I decided to change it up and have a little spike of the energy towards the end of the verses. So yeah, I guess that's it. Some of the melodies changed, but the structure stayed surprisingly similar to when I first wrote it.
Nice. So speaking of new project, it is called Outside. I didn't just watch it, but my family did. They went to see the Disney Pixar Inside movie. What are you saying with this title, Outside?
That's a good question. I noticed that there was a theme on the album of there's recurring lyrics in some of the songs that say "Let me in," and that was kind of a thought that I had, was that, well, if you want in, then you're out, obviously. But also, I had the album cover photo taken, and I really liked the photo, and I knew I wanted to use it as the cover. And the photo is a bench and like a lamp, but outside at night. And I thought that the lyrics on the album and the picture together were enough to call the album Outside.
Nice. Alright. So the band definitely have some dynamics and chemistry. There is a difference between the debut and this new album in both terms of sound and production. But what about, the things that each of you bring as a unique talent to the band? Like, how do you manage to blend your individual styles in such a cohesive sound?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Thanks.
Absolutely.
So for this album, there was Austin, like I mentioned earlier, our guitarist. He wrote the instrumental basically for a song on here, and that song is called Lullaby. It's not out yet. And that one kind of has his musical disposition. Like, I think it's noticeable. It's more, to me, like, it sounds kind of like The Killers or something, like kind of a 2000s like radio rock kind of sound. And I just went in and put the melody, lyrics, and vocals on there, and like that became the song. And we did something similar for Bruce's song called The Heat Sweep, also unreleased at this time, where he had this instrumental sitting around for, I don't know, I think since 2011, like a very long time at this point, and we really reworked it and kind of made it fit our sound. And I did the same thing. I put on the vocals and the melodies, lyrics, and we had our engineer Max Dickinson feature on that. And then our bassist Aiden wrote the song Inside for this album, which is a totally, it's like, if the others are like, it's like these three songs are like zigzags in our sounds.
Yeah.
Where his song, Aiden's song, Inside, sounds to me more like an older, like to me, it evokes like Pink Floyd kind of, like a more classic rock kind of psychedelic, more like meditative sound that I wouldn't have come up with. And so having the other three members contribute like basically an instrumental for me to write on really allowed for some variation in the sound. And then I also had my own mission statement to make sure no two songs on the album sounded the same, because I don't like when I listen to an album and every song sounds the same. So,
right, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for the long answer, but there you go.
No, that's a good answer, man. Before we play the single Sadness, I do want to ask you about this. You mentioned that music has saved your life. Can you elaborate how music has helped you through tough times?
Yeah, for sure. I hope it'll be hard not to give too cliche of an answer, but it's quite literally that I've struggled a lot in my life with mental health, and to the point where, you know, I may have hurt myself at some point or something that would not have been good, and luckily I never got there. And I give a lot of the, I would say music played a big role in making sure I didn't get to that point, for lack of better words. There's some songs and albums that I would listen to in those states, and instead of feeling worse, because I guess the types of albums that have saved me are pretty dark and depressing. They came from like very heavy places, heavy mindsets. For me, it helped me feel like I wasn't alone, instead of making me just revel kind of in that. It made me want to get better and to come out on top. And
yes, sir.
So in that way, I would say music has saved my life.
Absolutely, man. I've been there before. Actually made it all the way to the hospital one time. So they're like, hey, man, if you don't, well, my father said, hey, man, if you don't, I don't know what you're telling doctors, but they're talking about giving you a permanent bed. I was like, what? It's like, yeah. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah. But, man, just like you, music saved my life. And we're both here. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I actually took you didn't ask, but the most recent that I've been to the hospital is for panic attacks, which have also inspired this album in a couple different ways. And actually that song, Austin's song Lullaby that I mentioned, I mostly took inspiration from my relationship with panic attacks, and that's what the lyrics resemble, because it's like you're panicking and you think everything's wrong and you think you're dying, and then you tell on the other hand, you tell yourself that there is nothing wrong, and you're just like freaking yourself out and get over it. And like the truth is somewhere in between, because you're, you know, it's a scary thing.
Oh yeah. Man, thanks for adding context to that song. That song is not out yet, right?
That one is not out, sorry.
Okay. What's the name of it?
That one's called Lullaby.
Okay, yeah, I'll be checking for it. Mostly inspired by Bruce, right?
That one was Austin.
Austin. Musically inspired by Austin. Okay, cool. All right, guys, here we are. We are at the single. It is called Sadness, and it's by Petty Human Emotions. Stay tuned. welcome back again. Such an incredible song by Petty Human Emotions. That was a song called Sadness. I forgot to mention our Hot Seat segment. That's where we allow our special guests to perform for us, whether that's rapping, singing, poetry, telling a joke, telling a story, playing an instrument, giving some advice, or I think that's it. Yeah. All the wonderful creative things. So let's find out if James want to participate. Hey, man, welcome back with us. Are you going to perform for us?
Oh man, I did not have something ready, but I could try to. Let's see. Would you want me to play a song or?
Hey man, it's your show.
Let me think. Man. Sorry, yeah, I didn't have anything prepared.
Oh, that's okay.
I wish I was better on the spot.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Okay. If you'd like, I could grab my guitar and play something for you.
Sure. Yeah, I would love that.
Sure. 1 second.
Hey guys, while he's grabbing the guitar, Outside releases on August the 16th. So be sure to check out all the links in the description of this episode and in the show notes, so you can be on the alert for when the album drops. It's called Outside. And be sure to share with friends. And there's also a music video that I mentioned earlier, to Sadness, which we will include a link to that as well, to their YouTube. It's a real cool music video, by the way.
Sorry about that. I am back. Can we hear the guitar?
No.
Is it coming through?
Yes.
Okay. This is a song that I wrote for my cat called May, and it was on our first album. So I guess I'll play that for you here live if that's all right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much. Was so long, for so long, till you came. May, it must have been 100 days or more inside. I had to wait to hear your voice, feel your change. Warm my heart, wet my eyes. I can't breathe all the time. Sleeping on some towels as I write this song to wake you up. It feels so wrong. You're right at home where you belong. There it is. I hope that came through all right.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much, and I'm sorry I didn't have that ready, but I'm glad I pulled it out.
I hope the cat enjoyed that as well, having a tune written.
Oh yeah, she actually unplugged my monitor while I was playing that.
Oh. Like, wait, that's for me only.
Always fun with that.
Oh yeah. All right, man. James, where can our listeners connect with you online and check out more music?
So it's gonna be Petty Human Emotions anywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook. We're on all the things, and we're very searchable. So Petty Human Emotions, we come up.
All right. And listeners, just in case you're preoccupied with your fingers, I don't know, thumb war, twiddling them, cooking hot dogs, who knows? No worries. I will have those links in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. What an incredible conversation with James from Petty Human Emotions, as we got a chance to explore their journey and their creation process, and talk about sadness and the upcoming album Outside. So, as I mentioned before, it is coming out August 16th. Is that correct, James?
That is correct.
All right, cool. August 16th, write it down, put it in your calendars, and make sure you share it with a friend. All the links as well, I will include those in the description. So, there you go. All right, James, man, it was a pleasure talking with you, and I hope you have an incredible night.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for sharing our music.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, long time? I forgot to mention that, oh, by the way, this is Deanie, Vigilantes Radio Live. VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. Onlyonetheory.com. Check that out too. Peace.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black-Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Deanie, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Micah Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal. This award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.